Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Odontology, the study of teeth. So today we'll see the continuation of the previous video on the chapter tooth movement. Okay. So today I'll be telling you the mechanism of tooth movement, or the theories have been put forward to explain the mechanism of tooth eruption. Okay. Uh, there are four theories in general. First theory is bone remodeling theory. Second one is root formation theory, and third one is vascular pressure theory. Okay, and final one is periodontal ligament theory. Okay, so when you see in Orban's textbook, they are given as vascular pressure theory. Okay, however, it is not there in 10K textbook. Okay, of histology. So when you see your 10th oral histology textbook, there is something a different theory has been given. Okay, dental follicular theory. In Orban's, they clubbed this theory in bone remodeling. They explained in bone remodeling theory as a role of dental follicle in tooth eruption. Okay, so we'll see each theories in detail. First theory is bone remodeling theory. As I told in the previous videos about the bone formation, how it takes place, how it helps in the accommodation of the newly erupting teeth. Okay, so the main role is the function of osteoblastic cells and the osteoclastic there, where there will be a resorption and deposition of bone based on the movements that happens in the tooth. Okay, so this resulting in differentiation or the remodeling of the bone helps in axial movement. Okay, axial movement of teeth. Okay, axial causes axial movement of the tooth. Okay, not only this. Okay, not alone as bone remodeling alone, it's doesn't necessary as for the movement of the other tooth eruption to take place. It is an adjuvant factor to help in movement of the tooth. In this only, as given in Orban's and Tenkate, there's something called as role of dental follicle. Dental follicle. So nothing but, so I'll just draw a pictorial representation of a erupting or a newly forming tooth. So there is an open apex, okay, surrounded by the dental follicle. Okay, this dental follicle, okay, helps in the, also important in the eruption mechanism. Okay, as well as in degradation of the surrounding portions, also helps in the attachment of this follicle to the along with the reduced enamel epithelium, attached to the oral epithelium that forms a canal. Okay, that forms a canal where the newly erupting tooth will, without any disturbance, smoothly it erupts into the oral cavity. Okay, so this is the area of gubernacular canal. Okay, that is the area what we saw in the histology part of tooth eruption, right? This is the gubernacular canal. With the absence of, for example, experiments have been done to explain how this role of dental follicle is important for the tooth eruption is stable. In experiments, what is done is, if you remove this dental follicle out, okay, remove this, okay, removal, right, resulting in the tooth eruption doesn't take place. With the removal of the dental follicle, tooth eruption doesn't takes place. Okay, or you remove this teeth, okay, instead of these, place one material, okay, silica material, okay, place one silica material with the presence of dental follicle. However, this silica material will erupt where eruption will take place. So this indicates that the role of the dental follicle's important role in tooth eruption. Okay, next theory is root formation theory. Just slightly move this. Next is root formation theory. what they told in the root formation theory is root formation is essential for the tooth eruption to take place. Okay, they said that with the root formation, okay, this assume this is a canine tooth. Okay, so this one should elongate, the root should elongates and it hits a small one base in the fixed base, it hits a fixed base. This helps in the forward movement of the tooth structure. Okay, this hitting the getting elongated and hitting the fixed base, the bony crypt area, that causes in the movement of the tooth in its axial position, okay, or the occlusal position. However, one more also they explained is there is a presence of a, see this is an, assume this is a two bony area, bony structure. Okay, so there is a stringe, okay, or a ligament, fiber ligament is present. Okay, this ligament is called as cushion hamlock ligament, cushion hamlock ligament. Okay, that from one end to another end it is attached, where this tooth eruption, okay, with elongated this will move and hit the base and causes like this, okay, movement like this and forwardly movements of the tooth into the oral cavity. This also shows the helps in tooth eruption. Okay, however, further study shows there is no presence of fixed base like this. Okay, there is no fixed base, there is no fixed base, as well as there is no a ligament like this. And one more thing, it has been came to know that rootless tooth, okay, rootless tooth will also erupt in the oral cavity, will erupt in the oral cavity, and also further movement takes place after root formation. So what are the things they told? It in root formation theory, root is essential for the tooth eruption, okay, by gradual increasing the root as well as hitting one fixed base along with the cushion help of cushion hamlock ligament. Okay, however, this is distributed. Okay, this demerits of this one is there is no fixed base, as well as the rootless tooth also will erupt in the oral cavity, and further movement also takes place after root completion. So this is not a valid to explain about the tooth eruption to takes place. Next is, so next theory is vascular pressure theory. In this theory they say that small localized vascular changes in the vascular pressure that causes a limited tooth movement. Okay, changes in the vascular pressure causes limited tooth movement. So you have to prove this theory. What they say is if you give, for example, if you give a vasoconstrictor, okay, if you apply apply a vasoconstrictor, there will be a decrease in tooth movement takes place, or limited, or tooth movement does not takes place. Okay, there is a decrease in tooth movement. Okay, however, in vasodilator, application of vasodilator, okay, it causes an increased or limited tooth movement. So this clearly shows this changes in the vascular pressure also causes a mild or limited tooth movement. Okay, so next is finally we will see about the periodontal ligament, periodontal ligament traction theory. So from the beginning of this video in the chapter, I was keep on stressing on the role of periodontal ligament fibers. Okay, that is origin from fibroblast. Last video I was addressed about the how the periodontal ligaments are helping in tooth movement and the eruption. Okay, that is the role of fibroblast. Okay, that is your periodontal ligament fibers. Next is the role of this actin, then myelin, fibronectin. So all those things I have addressed previously. So all these things helps in the contractile nature, causes a contractile nature like your muscle. Okay, movements of the muscles are the contraction of the muscle, contractile movement of the tooth to erupt in the cavity. Absence of PDL fibers, the movement is restricted. Okay, or if you keep some other material also, instead of tooth you keep some other material like this. Okay, in the periodontal ligament area. Okay, this causes a tooth eruption of this material. Okay, if you place some other material also with the help of periodontal ligament fibers, there is a presence. This causes the material to erupt in the oral cavity or erupt in the place. Okay, not in the oral cavity, in the place. Okay, so this clearly shows this periodontal ligament is highly important as a preliminary material that is to be help in tooth eruption. Along with that, the presence of dental follicle. The main thing is PDL fibers and dental follicle. Both are very essential for the tooth eruption to take place. Along with that, bone remodeling and root also will also helps or adjuvant factor in tooth eruption to takes place. Okay, these are the main mechanisms of tooth eruption or theories of tooth eruption. This itself as a essay question or a short note will be asked. Okay, first is what we saw about bone remodeling theory, second one is root formation theory, third one is vascular pressure theory, and finally it is periodontal ligament theory. And in 10K they are given a separate dental follicle theory. Okay, that the role of dental follicle, that is in organs it is attached in bone remodeling theory. Okay, so that clearly shows this the periodontal ligament fibers and the dental follicles are essential for the tooth eruption to take place. So what are the changes that happens in post-eruptive tooth movement? Okay, post-eruptive tooth movement, what I told is axial movement and adaptation of the occlusal and proximal changes or the wear process with the help of transeptal periodontal fibers. Because periodontal ligament fibers, there are 5 principal fibers, okay, that are attached to the bone crypt wall as well as near the cementum to the tooth root. Okay, so in that transeptal fibers is essential for the axial movement on the adaptation to the wear and tear during the post-eruptive tooth movement to takes place. So with the absence of transeptal fibers, or if you remove that, the movement is restricted or completely absent. So this clearly shows that transeptal fibers. Okay, I'll just write here for your remembrance. Okay, in post-eruptive movement, the main in this one is transeptal fibers are important. Transeptal fibers are important in post-eruptive tooth movement. Okay, so with this I conclude the video on the mechanism or theories of tooth eruption. So if you like this video, press the like button and subscribe to my channel Odontology, the study of tooth. Okay, thank you.